Welcome to the Your Life, Your Voice YouTube channel. Proudly brought to you by the Diversity and Disability Program at the Migrant Resource Centre, Northwest Region, where South Africans, organisations and the community interested in culturally and linguistically diverse and the disability sector get together.
The Diversity and Disability Program would like to acknowledge the Wurrung and Bunurong peoples of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners of the land on which we work and live. We recognise their continued connection to land, water and the community. We pay our respects to elders past and present.
Nothing about us without us. We pay our respects to all South Africans who have worked tirelessly over many years for the right to live in a community and for equality and human rights for all.
This channel is for all those seeking to understand more about disability culture and community, to hear and learn from leaders and peers with disability, and to improve our individual advocacy skills.
This channel also aims to provide useful information about organisations and supports so that we can all live a better life in this world.
Nothing about us without us.
Every interview is unique as you and I. Your life, your voice. Be the voice of change in your life. Good morning and welcome to another edition of Your Life, Your Voice. My name is Julie and I'd like to welcome my co-host, Antony to the program.
Good morning, Julie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Antony. And today we have a very special guest speaker, and her name is Annie. So welcome, Annie, to our program. And Antony and Annie are related?
Yes. Annie is my wonderful mother, and I'm excited for this interview because I think, we'll have some interesting conversations and discussions that I think, viewers out there may relate to or, be thinking about these types of things. So, yeah, excited for this episode.
Yeah, so it's a great idea, great concept. So good job, Antony, for suggesting your mother to be.
And thank you, Mum, for offering to do this interview as well.
Well, agree, absolutely. So it works both ways. So I'll just kick off with some questions, Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the interview is quite loose, so you don't have to have anxiety over it. We're pretty loose. It'll give us a good perspective of intergenerational disability issues. So this is a great opportunity. So could you please introduce yourself and share a bit about your background, Annie?
Hi. My name is Annie. I am from New Zealand, born on the magnificent east coast of the North Island, New Zealand. Born and raised for the first 10 years on a farm in the country and lived most of my life in the big smoke of Auckland City. I have got RP, and I also have myopia. My sight is gone now. I pretty much only see shadows now. And I can see light and dark. I can tell the difference. But been in Melbourne now for almost 9 years and absolutely love being here in Australia.
Well, sorry, Melbourne is a very welcoming city. So,
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay. What else would you like to know? No.
Yeah, so how many children did you have or do you have?
I have 3 children, 2 boys and my daughter who has I have 3 grandchildren as well who belong to my daughter who lives in Melbourne as well. All 3 of my children are here. And of course, the 2 boys live with me, and my daughter has her own family and partner on the other side of Melbourne City. So yeah.
And I'm the eldest of them all. So
yes, Antony is number one on the hit parade where it comes to all grandchildren. He's the first grandchild in my family. Oh, now I think about it. I have 9 siblings, which is 5 sisters and 4 brothers, and we're all still running around on this earth. So I'm the 3rd eldest. Yep, and so there's a lot of nephews and nieces now. But as I said, Antony was the firstborn of all the nephews and nieces and grandchildren of my parents. So,
Yeah.
my
Yes.
father also has RP. My father also had RP and myopia. He was blind at an early age.
For those that don't know what RP is, RP stands for retinitis pigmentosa, which is a eye condition that affects the peripheral vision, and it can lead to tunnel vision, night blindness, and eventually total blindness. So, yeah.
So does the whole family have this condition, or is it a bit of a lucky dip where some might not have the gene, if that makes any sense at all?
No, all my sisters are all carriers of it, but I'm the only one out of all of us that got the brunt of the eye condition itself. Although, as growing up, I had reasonably good sight, and I did a lot in my life. You know, I must admit, quite a colourful life actually, but. In music, and hence this is where my son gets his talents from. And,
yes, that is true.
Yeah, so it wasn't until my maybe mid-30s, early 40s, my eyesight started to deteriorate a lot more, and till now I'm 65 and my sight is basically gone now. So yeah.
So our eye condition is what they call X-linked. So it's linked to the X chromosome. So not to get too technical with it, but just the basic idea is that, for example, my grandfather, my mum's father, had this condition. So all of his boys would not be affected because he only passed on the Y chromosome to his boys, and the X came from my mum's mother. But all of the daughters would inherit this chromosome, would inherit the eye condition, because my father would, my grandfather, my mother's father, would transfer his X chromosome, which had the eye condition within it. And so that means all of her sisters are carriers. And that's sort of basically it. So it carries through from the X chromosome.
In saying that, all my sisters are fine as far as their sight goes through their life, but I actually got the eyesight, what's the word, where it just deteriorated my retinas and everything. But at the same time, my sisters are carriers, and so they can pass that same eye condition on to their children, which has happened within within the family. It can jump a generation and end up where the grandchildren are affected. But yeah, and that's how it's been so far. My second son, he has good sight. My daughter is just over the last few years, she's in her late 30s now, but just in the last 4 or 5 years, she is developing eyesight problems, which is, it's a completely different strain to mine. So it works in many ways. She has night blindness and blind spots, where she misses things quite a bit when she's out and about and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm just hoping that someday that there's going to be a cure for all this, and for future generations won't have to go through what we go through. So yeah.
Yeah, medical enhancements and technology, they come a long way, and I think with the next 10 years or so, I mean, we're going to have like moon, tourism, you know what I mean? So medical stuff, medical issues and solutions are coming a long way now, and they seem to be quicker. So yes. So here's to medical science and the smarty pants that we need on Earth. So yes, so congratulations to them. So just moving on now. I think we covered one question, so I'll just move on. Can you share any stories of moments of triumph over challenges related to your eye condition?
Well, I was the kind of person that, as I was growing up, nothing seemed to stop me in anything I did. I've been a swimmer, a runner, track and field, and became a musician in my teenage years, right up till my husband passed, which was many years ago now. So I've just taken challenges head on and more or less just kicked them to the curb, got out there and did things. And in a way, I still do them now. I'm in choirs now. I was challenged not so long ago in getting a guide dog, and I have him now, which has been a godsend to me and life-changing, really. Just small things like that, it's just huge for both Antony and I to be able to accomplish what we have. And yes, I couldn't entertain anymore. Been an entertainer in New Zealand and been out on stages and sung and all that kind of thing. I don't do that now, but I've gone and found music elsewhere in the choirs. So, yeah, and I'm pretty cool.
Yes, well, I think I've definitely inherited a lot of those traits. I kind of see myself as like, if there's something I want to do, I'm kind of like a bull at a gate, and nothing will stop me from, going for that goal and achieving it. And I'm thankful to sort of have that attitude. And yes, my mother was a very big influence with in terms of music. She's a great singer. She plays the guitar. Probably, when growing up, I'm not sure whether you want to go into this part, Mum, but I remember, when myself and my brother and sisters were growing up, Mum used to go and sing, and do rest homes and things, and even you know, sometimes we were struggling at times, and Mum would busk and make money that way. She actually made a lot of money doing that, which
it was $100 an hour, and I was quite surprised. So I'd only sit out there for a couple of hours, and in the meantime, the kids would be running around the shopping centre, helping themselves to the little coins in my case, and then taking off and buying, you know, ice cream and things like that. But you know, life was really hard. Even when I became a solo parent, when my husband passed due to illness, he got very sick, and I was only a young age of 46 when he passed away. So haven't, you know, kind of haven't gone into any other relationships ever since. I've just devoted my life to my children to make sure that they're comfortable and happy. And to do that, Antony and I both decided to migrate, to get out of New Zealand because it got really, really hard, and to migrate and to find a different life somewhere. So we had choices, Canada or Australia. So we opted for Australia, and we've never looked back. It's just been amazing for all of us, really. So yeah, so here we are in Australia, and it's home to us now. Even though New Zealand, we were born there, I think, you know, home is where the heart is and where, you know, your family is. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And that move was definitely one of those bull at the gate moments for me. I had that I had the idea in my head that that's what you know, I wanted to do for myself, and I thought that it would, you know, benefit my mum as well, and my siblings. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make this happen. And you know, we moved over here, moved in with complete strangers, who turned out to be, you know, a beautiful family who we're still great friends with today. But yeah, you know, I guess I kind of dragged Mum along because
Oh,
you
he
know,
threw me over his shoulders, and I was kicking and screaming through the airport, literally. So
not
he goes,
literally, but
I can imagine he's a pretty strong boy.
I know. He said, Mum, you're coming. You're coming. I said, all right, son. No. Yeah, so that was that. And I'm so glad because it's literally changed our lives in many, many, many ways. And we can travel. In New Zealand, we couldn't even travel anywhere like to Australia even, which was our, you know, our neighbour. Well, we couldn't even get there. We couldn't even afford it. But now we can fly back to New Zealand as many times as we like because everything has just changed so much for us here in Australia. And I'm still trying to get my sisters over, but yeah, their feet are firmly planted in New Zealand, and that's okay as well. So they all know that, you know, we are here if they ever need any help or support and things like that. So yeah.
So I'm just hearing your story. What stands out for me is that I assume that your husband died when you were in New Zealand.
Yes.
And so Antony assumed the head of the household.
Absolutely. Well, he tried. It took me a long, long time to let go the reins. And I'm afraid I'm still a strong, strong person as far as my personality goes. I still crack the whip from time to time. And I think I'm allowed to in my own small little way now. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I think you know, Mum is always the lady of the house. I'm not the man of the house, really. I'm you know, I think we work work together like, there's no sort of hierarchy there, I don't think.
Yeah. No, we work together. We bounce off each other. We talk to each other most days, and I sit down and say, "Oh, I want to talk to you about something," and then we go ahead and 2 or 3 hours down the track, we're still there sitting talking, and it's just great. It's wonderful to be able to do that. And sometimes we come up with solutions, and sometimes we just say, we'll just put it on the side for now, and we'll see what happens. And that's how we have been. We just bounce off and give each other ideas and support each other in whatever we have in mind for that day. Sometimes it'd be simple. For me, it's like radical. It can be simple as waking up one day and it's like, oh, I've got an idea, so I've got to go and talk to Antony about this first, and that's how it builds. Yeah, and it's built my life. My life has always been built on just a mere notion, an idea, and that's it. And people are amazed at how I cope and all that kind of thing. But to me, I never even think about things. It's effortless. A lot of the time, it's effortless, as long as, there's no negativity around me that tells me I can't do this, and which there has been in the past. And, I've just got to get through all that. And once I've got to the other side, I, pick myself up and dust myself off and soldier on, as they say. So that's it. Yeah.
Well, story I can think of that, sort of shows sort of how our mum and I sort of bounce off each other and sort of basically inspire each other with different things related to our vision impairment. Like when we first moved to Australia, and we got our own place. Being new to Australia, we didn't know anything. We didn't know how to get out of our street. We were kind of afraid to walk out of our driveway in fear of going for a walk and not being able to find how to get back home again, and sort of only knowing very, very few people.
Yes, and that's, sorry, Antony, sorry, Sam, and that wasn't just like a few weeks, it was 2 years, our first 2 years in our home, where we didn't know which way was uptown and which way was to the beach, say, and so we just didn't go there. Anyway, Antony, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And so Mum decided to call Vision Australia and get some orientation mobility training, because at that time, I was still going through a stage where I didn't want to use a cane and things like that. So an orientation and mobility instructor came over from Vision Australia, and took Mum out and showed her how to find the gym, and which was just up the road, and then how to get back home. And then basically once she finished that training, she said, okay, come with me, I'll show you where the gym is and stuff. And so I walked with her to the gym and walked back, and I was like, wow, okay, this is amazing. So she kind of inspired me to get my act together and start doing orientation and mobility training as well.
That in itself was like a life changer for me as well. I get this knock at the door in 10 o'clock in the morning, and this beautiful lady standing out, and she walked in, and I believe that was fate that walked in our house, and it changed our lives. It changed Antony's more, because he was just beginning on his journey, but it ends up, I jumped on his cart and decided to follow him. And in doing that, I improved my skills as well as supporting my son through the early stages of his getting to know how to get around and finally to be able to become independent and do so many other things. So yeah, sorry, I've got sinus, but anyway. So yeah, in doing that, we've come a long way, and now he's hitting the buses and trains and trams, and he flies out to New Zealand on his own. His dog Brett and him are just, I think they've sprouted wings, and it's so beautiful to watch, and well, not really watch for me, but to know that he's out there and he's safe. Yeah.
No, you guys, for what I pick up, like, support each other well. So it was Anthony's idea, kicking, screaming to bring you here, but then you took the initiative, Annie.
Yes.
And like decided to, ask for support.
Yes.
Which, sometimes through pride and.
Well, that's it. That's because Antony was still in that different mode to me, and I thought, well, I can't do this. It's 2 years, and we haven't been able to venture out. Now, don't get me wrong. Our friends would come and pick us up and take us out to dinner and take us everywhere. But the simple thing is, we just couldn't get out of our own home unassisted on our own. And I had to do that because it was driving me crazy. And it was also affecting Antony and I within the home, our relationship. We were what do you call it? We're snapping at each other and all that. And that's when I decided, it's something's got to change. And yeah, it did, and all for the good. So
yeah.
So anyway, we both ended up joining the gym, and we got quite fit and we were looking good and everything until COVID hit, and so we all blame COVID. But yeah, till that happened, and then everything stopped. But in saying that, I think we're in a better place than most people. And I always say that no matter what, there's people out there that are so much worse off than us. And we are lucky. We are so lucky to be where we are and have what we have. So, yeah, that's it. And my daughter and my other son, they look at us in awe, and they, and hopefully in time to come, we'll be able to inspire others through different things. Yeah.
Well, this channel was devised to empower people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so this is what when we have guest speakers and other things like, information programs, this is what our aim is for this program,
Yes.
And it only takes one person in your life, or one program, or one line, or knowing what's out there in the community to help people, live a better life. Because we all deserve to live our best possible life. And as you guys have proven, you can still do things despite disability. You learn new skills, you get out there, you take a risk sometimes,
Yeah.
and challenge yourself in different ways. So so challenging yourself is a good thing. But a lot of sighted people, able-bodied people, they don't live a full life because they're too scared to do things,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't see the lens through disability and, so I think I feel sorry more for these people, that are too scared to do things. A lot of people in my past I don't deal with now were like this. And like you and Anthony, Annie, I'm a doer. Like I get an idea and I run with it, and then I'm questioned about how do I do that? Like by people, my family, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so natural for me to get an idea and to run with it
Yeah,
and to see it out to its full potential.
yeah,
Sometimes things don't work out. And
exactly. Yeah.
that's life,
Mhm.
That's life. I learned a lesson, But I'll tell you what, most of the things I've done have worked out.
Mhm.
And I'm really, really shocked at times as to like how things pan out. But it's all about being informed. What do I call it in disability terms? Be informed and having the courage and putting steps into your life. If things like don't work out, then you know what to do, and your life isn't in danger, and you just move on to the next idea,
Mhm.
And this is all about empowerment and control and decision making in your own life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see a lot of, goals that I go for. I see the goal and then I do the steps in order to get there. And a lot of times, with disability, there's a lot of problem solving that needs to be done. So, in your mind, you think, okay, so I need to do this task, but there's going to be a challenge doing it with my disability. Okay, so how can I solve that challenge? And I think just constantly thinking like that, and you'll pretty much always come up with a solution. The solution may be difficult, but it is a solution to get to that goal. And I think, when I come across hurdles, I think, okay, can I get over it? Can I get around it? Can I get under it? Or can I bust through it? I exhaust every avenue I can to get through any sort of barriers. And some barriers, you can't. They're or I haven't found a way around it, under it, over it, through it. And then, okay, that's life as well. So yeah, and that's the sort of bull at the gate sort of attitude that I sort of articulate. That's what I think of what a bull at the gate sort of attitude is.
I know you're a part of D&D, Anthony, but are you and even your mother, she can be a part of self-advocacy groups also. There are no age limits. And the Voices Together website will give you some indication of the different groups that your mother might be interested in. So maybe you can explore stuff around that. And that would go on.
I haven't come to the to the best part yet. Through Vision Australia, I've become a peer volunteer for the quality living groups, where I communicate and support people all over Australia, and I'm in one at the moment, and they're 8 weeks long, 2.5 hours, half an hour in between rest, and then we talk about things about how, because so many people out there, it's unbelievable, that don't realise the services and the help that's available for them out there. And this is where I come in, and I support facilitates. What's the word?
Facilitate.
Support the facilitator.
Yeah, the facilitator as a peer, and just to pick up on things that she may have missed or ask questions that she may not have thought of that really needed to be asked. And this is what I do every week. I talk to, I've been in, I think, about 6 programs at the moment since December last year. And a lot of them are 10 weeks long. And there's a lot of people out there are so grateful. And so, their lives are better because there's people like me and lots of people like me out there that, support them and just give up their time and volunteer to let them know what services and what's out there for them and how they can better quality their lives. And that to me is so rewarding. And hey, I don't even have to leave the house. So it's really great.
Yeah, I think that program's great. And, it's the shared experiences that, my mum may share with her own, lived experience. And, others can relate to it, or maybe, say, hey, somebody else has, experienced what I'm going through. And, that can be really helpful for people, as well as the, support for them to know what services are available, what that there is support out there for them. So yeah, no, great. And I know my mum really enjoys those groups.
Yeah, I do. It's just the fact that, people are out there, living in remote places sometimes, and they just can't get out. They can't do this. And the services they didn't know about. And it's just having this voice on the phone that just makes them feel that they're, so much better, and that there is nothing wrong with them. It's just that they are so remotely where they live, and they've just got to, know that there are others out there that are thinking about them, and just pick up the phone and call, and we develop friendships even, and we might not even meet each other our whole lives, but on the phone we certainly know each other so well. So yeah,
life is about human connections, and and unfortunately sometimes can't be with our own families for whatever reasons, through disconnection or ignorance or whatever. So it doesn't necessarily mean you can't have family like friendships and support systems. I know of someone through Vision Australia. Her name's Kathy Fisher. Do you know Kathy Fisher?
No.
Yes, so she's a vision impaired person that I interviewed a little while ago for another project.
She's not to do with broadcasting radio, is she?
Well, she does peer work like you do, and she does.
Oh, okay.
She do. I think it's bowling. I think they do a vision impaired bowling every Monday. I think it is.
Oh yes.
I'd like to go and visit her one day with her group, and it hasn't happened. So life gets busy, and Mondays is a busy day for me too with work. So but I like to go and have a bit of a catch up with Kathy. So and there's other people in the community that support Kathy and her group. Some are from her faith connections. Yes, so we've actually covered a lot of the questions without even looking.
I think we have.
Without even looking at the questions. So I'll just see whether there's anything else. Okay, look, I'll just ask you this question. How do you see the future of disability advocacy, and what changes would you like to see for individuals with vision impairments and other disabilities? There's a bit to unpack there.
Yeah, there is. I hadn't really thought about it. Like I said, I don't have any expectations. What I'd like to see, I'm not sure, because in this modern world, I think people are going through changes at the moment with how much support they've got out there, financially and physically and spiritually. And that's huge, compared to, when in my day there was really not a lot. What do I expect? I don't know. I don't have any expectations for things. I'm just so grateful for what we have at the moment, and I'm just excited to really find out what's going to happen tomorrow. And it's all, for me, it's all hit and miss. And I think what we have at the moment is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I can't really think about what the future's going to hold for all of us. I just think, without thinking about it, I just think that, every day is a bonus, and every day we just grab the bull by the horns and do what we need to do. There are times when you might just want to lay about. That's your prerogative, but it's your life as well. And what makes you happy, just do it. And that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, that's a great answer, because I think it exemplifies your sort of attitude around things, that you kind of take life where it is, as it is now, and try to get the job done with how things are now. And I guess you probably try not to think like, okay, this should be better.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's not right now, it still doesn't stop you from moving forward with things.
Yes, and it still doesn't mean that it mightn't happen in the near future, if not for myself, for our generations growing up, and going through it. Yeah.
And I think you come from the perspective from your generation, where when you were growing up there was not much support out there, and in comparison to the support that's out there today, it's huge. Would that be right?
That's exactly right. So in saying that, that's why I can't really think how to better this world, because I think we're okay at the moment. And I know it's not okay just to be okay. We need something more. But at the moment, I think we've just got to, like I say, take one day at a time, baby steps, and see how we go. And there are a lot of people out there that kind of, have disabilities that have just happened, snap, just like that, overnight, some of them, or in the last couple of months. Those ones, my heart cries for them. And I don't know how to approach a conversation with them. But as we go in with baby steps, they start opening up, and then that enables us to come in and soothe those wounds, and not heal them, but make them feel like they are not on their own, and that there is life out there after losing your sight or having a disability, if you want it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to attitude, and is the glass half full or empty? Sorry? Go ahead.
My brothers and sisters are in awe of me, because I, being the only one with the eye condition, and the rest of them, like all other 9 of them, all have their sight And I was the one, the one that sprouted wings and flew over the mountains, shall we say. I thought I'd climbed all my mountains till Antony had to, had faced me with another mountainers coming to Melbourne. And I prayed to God one night. I said, look, I can't climb this one. But anyway, it works out that he flew me over this mountain to a different country, and my sisters especially, they are like feared for their lives because they think if mum and dad were alive, they would get ridiculed and all this for letting Annie do the things that she's not supposed to be doing. Now, this is what a lot of people say, you're not supposed to be doing that. And I said, who said I can't do it? And I did. And it took them a few years to relax back in New Zealand and know. And now I get phone calls saying, we don't have to worry about you anymore because you're okay. I said, you never had to worry about me. I was always the one that kind of supported them through things, and my eyesight didn't really have that much a bigger impact on me, as I said, because it slowly left me until I'm at the age where I am now, and I've got so many memories and so many other things to look forward to now. So
yeah, I really identify with being the mover and shaker in your family.
yeah.
If you know how birds fly, I think it's north for the summer.
Yes.
Other birds said, I'm going to fly south. I want to know what's happening. and I get eye rolls and I get all sorts of comments and like,
Yeah.
why? Because
What? You're my blind sister.
Because I want to know what's south. That's why.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I really identify with that, Annie. And I think that we can end this really enlightening and wonderful interview. Thank you, Annie and Antony, for the suggestion.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Mum. It's been an
You're
excellent
welcome,
episode.
son. No, it took me all of 2 days to decide.
Cool. I think we got the intergenerational and what's the word? Geography, like, through New Zealand and Australia. So we got a really interesting perspective of culture and family expectations and the differences in disability supports in both countries. So it was a really good interview, Annie, and thank you for agreeing to be.
Thank you.
So just on that note, we'll say goodbye to our viewers, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Catch us on Your Life, Your Voice channel fortnightly or on demand.
We would like your comments and suggestions on topics you would like us to explore. Leave your comments on the YouTube comments section.
Diversity and Disability is a program of the Migrant Resource Centre Northwest Region Incorporated.
And we'd like to thank the management for funding this program and channel.
Phone number 1300 676 044.
Please feel free to email us on dndyourlifeyourvoice@gmail.com or contact us via the Migrant Resource Centre Northwest Region Incorporated.